Where does Kirk Cousins lurk in all this? What's the pressure point there? Because I think you mentioned St. Patrick's Day. Something's going on that day with his contract and what he's owed, and because if he is available in any way, shape, or form, that changes the rubric for choices for all other teams as well, I would imagine.
Well, it's a unique situation, and it has been since 6 weeks after they signed Kirk Cousins to a contract with $100 million in guarantees. They drafted Michael Penix, his successor. From that point forward, an hour after Kirk's waving a towel on stage at the draft party and then gets a call, hey, we're taking Penix, everything figured to play out in an unusual way that we've really not seen in the NFL. So just to level set, they paid Kirk Cousins $62.5 million in the first year of his deal for one season and whatever it was, 13 starts before he got benched. They owe him another $27.5 million fully guaranteed in 2025. That additional vesting that you're referring to is a 2026 payment of $10 million that flips from an injury guarantee to full guarantee if he's still on the roster effectively by 4 p.m. on Saturday. Well, the Falcons' viewpoint on that is if Kirk Cousins is playing in 2026 somewhere, he's probably making over $10 million. That's subject to offsets. We're probably not going to be paying it anyway. So that date, to hear the Falcons' perspective on this, that date doesn't ultimately matter. You still, though, then, if you are going to come to a point, it's apparent at this point they're not planning to release him, at least not prior to that bonus becoming vested tomorrow. Then now you're talking about, do they release him somewhere down the line? That seems unlikely because then you've paid the guy, or you owe him $90 to $100 million because he'd probably signed for the minimum somewhere for one season of action. That seems unlikely. The other scenario would be you get Kirk Cousins on board with a trade because he's got a no trade clause. You basically come to him when all these other dominoes fall and there's only a couple of starting jobs left and say, hey, if you want to start, here's the spot. You got to waive your no trade. We're going to split the money, or the new team will pick up the money, whatever it is, you'll get paid, but you got to go along with this or else we're just going to hang on to you. And at that point, what does Kirk Cousins decide to do? He's got a young family. He's got young children. If this were a trade deadline thing, does he even want to move his family in October, or does he just ride it out behind Michael Penix? I mean, these are all questions. I know this. Kirk Cousins wants to play. He wants to not go out like he did last season. He wants another opportunity a year removed now from his Achilles injury to show, hey, I was not 100% physically. It was a challenging situation. I can still play football. That's Kirk's mentality at this point. But we've not gotten to the point where the Falcons have come to him and said, hey, here's your opportunity. Will you work with us on this? I do believe that there are going to be at least one, maybe multiple teams that will make a run at this at some point. But right now, from everything I've heard, Rich, the Falcons aren't really engaging on that. They're not ready to simply make a move with Kirk Cousins. And until the Falcons and Cousins agree that there's an opportunity for him to take, everybody's got to be on board with it, or else nothing's going to happen. I mean, this is going to be something that it could be resolved in a week, or it could be resolved literally months from now, just depending on how these teams let it play out.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.